Hi, I'm Emma, Flower Medium, and this is reading number 2. And just while I was standing here preparing, I got a song, Spirit put a song in my head, and it's all I want to do is have some fun. So that is from the 90s. What's her name? Sheryl Crow, I think. Sheryl Crow. Oh, crows are interesting. Crows are the spirit messenger of the bird world. So birds represent communication. Crows represent communication from spirits. So that's interesting that you've got this song that's been given to me by spirit, and it's about spirit communication. So what they're trying to tell you right now, and I'm just going to start making the bouquet. What spirit's trying to let you or make you be aware at the moment is that they're actually communicating with you. So you might be noticing this. You might be thinking that you've got spirit communicating, and yet you're then, what's the word? You're second guessing it and then explaining it away and going, oh no, that's not what that is. It's just a coincidence. There's no such thing as coincidences, I'm afraid. Everything has a meaning, everything has a purpose, and spirit world, this little one's broken. Spirit world are constantly communicating to us and wanting us to listen, and when we don't, aka maybe you right now, they have to go to higher lengths, longer lengths. They have to basically put the message right in front of your face, like, listen, this is the message. How about you acknowledge the message that's happening? So basically, the spirit world have been trying to get through to you, and they haven't been successful, have they? I'm thinking, because that's why we're here, and I've given this particular reading to you because you're not listening. You're not listening to spirit. And they want to tell you a few hard truths, I think. I think that there's situations going on in your life at the moment that you're just not acknowledging. You're aware that there's some shit going on, and yet you just don't want to deal with it. I think that you're too scared to look into. There's sort of some shit bites going on around you at the moment that first you didn't want to get involved in. You just didn't want to. It's not your problem. And it actually isn't your problem. Well, it wasn't. Yet the more that this has gone on, the more you actually have to step in and start accepting that perhaps maybe there's a bit of responsibility on your shoulders. Did a can of worms get opened way back when that you might have opened, and now all of a sudden, shit, you've got to deal with it. Well, baby, you opened the can. So you now get to deal with the fallout. You did kind of set a firecracker off and then walked away, and that ain't, you can get away with it. Sometimes we do. Sometimes we can dodge the bullet. However, I think this time you haven't dodged it. So, this situation that we're talking about is someone's angry at you about it. Someone's actually really pissed off, and that pissed off energy is actually started really getting to you. You thought that you could, I'm not going to let them bring me down. I'm not going to let them spoil my vibe. I'm not going to, it's their problem now. Well, you opened a can of worms. You now get to deal with it, unfortunately. I think it's got to do with children. I think that it's about responsibilities of children, or it's about, yeah, I think it's about the responsibilities. Like, there's sort of, it's perhaps you've highlighted someone's, and you know what, rightly so, someone's behavior or parenting or the way that they're acting with the kids, it's not ideal and not good, and you've kind of brought that to the surface. However, now you're going to have to deal with it. And that wasn't the plan. However, you either decide that you're going to be a hypocrite, or you go, all right, well, I'm going to have to deal with this now. And it's not going away. So this scenario isn't actually going away. So it's kind of got your hands tied behind your back. You're just going to have to deal with it. You open the can of worms, you've got to deal with it. And Spirit have been trying to guide and communicate to you, because all I want to do is have some fun. So is that you and the other adult or the other person that you've criticized that just wants to have fun, or is it the children that just want to have fun, or the younger people around you that just want to have fun and responsibilities aren't being met, or they're not doing what they need to do to keep up their end of the bargain? It's people who just want to have fun, and the consequences don't think the consequences have been felt or have been seen, I should say. I don't think that the consequences have been seen just yet. And if you address this now, then you can probably avoid too much fallout. If you acknowledge that Spirit wants you, and this is not necessarily to anyone else, to yourself though, Spirit wants you to acknowledge that you had a bit of a part in this and you had a bit of a role, and as a consequence, this can of worms has been opened up and it has to be dealt with. So if you don't acknowledge that, if you completely and utterly blame the other parties, you're not going to get the resolution that you need, because you were involved. You did have your 2 cents and it's ruffled some feathers. It's pissed some people off. And they're just like, who the hell are you to judge me or highlight that when you're over there doing the same thing or whatever? So taking a look at your role, taking a look at the decisions that you're making, and just with yourself. I'm not, and Spirit is not saying that you have to go and confess to anyone. Don't confess. Don't think that you have to expose yourself in that way. And I would be really careful about that. I think that you might say or share an aspect that you think is going to help your case. So sort of, oh, hey, I'm going through this too. We're on the same team, we're both going through it. Don't do that, because that will be used later on against you. And Spirit's here right now to make you aware that that's going to happen. So don't go, because it's called sympathy. So don't go sympathizing with someone or this person. Don't go saying